a $7,000 Chanel bag, and it literally fell.
So I came across this video, and the creator is saying she paid $7,000 for a Chanel bag that essentially fell apart. She's definitely not the first person to say this, as a lot of people have been complaining about Chanel's quality going downhill. I'm gonna explain to you guys why that happens, particularly with a luxury brand, but before that, I wanna address one of the comments I saw on her page. This was the comment that stood out to me, and it says, "Luxury is not equal to quality." While that may be the case with certain designer brands now, luxury, in fact, was supposed to equal quality. That was an element of it. We all know that part of the reason people purchase luxury items is for the legacy name. Associated with that legacy name was an element of an elevated quality. With that, consumers were willing to pay more for a quality that is supposed to be superior. As we can see with the Chanel of yesteryear versus the Chanel of today, that in fact was the case. This is why you see a lot of people saying now that they only shop vintage Chanel, because there's a difference, a clear difference in the quality. For me personally, this is one of the reasons why I like to shop vintage. Because of what I do, I'm a stickler for quality and construction. If you look at vintage jewelry, vintage accessories, vintage clothing, the quality was completely different. There's a reason why you can shop vintage items 30 to 40 years later and that quality is still holding up. A lot of legacy brands now have that name, but the quality element is missing, and here's what changed. Any garment or any accessory that is being produced for mass market has to go through quality and testing. This goes from high end to low end. On a brand that's considered high end, your quality and testing process is supposed to be more intensive. That process is also factored into the cost of the item. The problem that we're seeing with designer brands now is that the prices have gone up, but the quality and testing procedures that once were considered more rigorous have gone out of the door or been watered down completely. This is why you can have a Chanel bag with the logo glued on, which is absolutely crazy, or a Chanel bag with a logo that is punched on but not properly secured and falls off completely. Again, crazy. If you think about who these luxury consumers were 30 to 40 years ago, if you have something like a Chanel bag with the logo falling off, that's something that just wouldn't have worked. Why it wouldn't have worked is because that consumer came from an era where quality was key. I think one of the reasons why there's such a drastic change with quality now is because consumers nowadays aren't really as well versed in quality. With that, you had the quality of designer goods gradually going downhill until it became a big old bowl of audacity blatantly in your face. Another factor is the introduction of fast fashion. Now, designer goods are designer goods and they have their own lane, but with the introduction of fast fashion, you have a lot of retailers that feel the need to produce goods at a faster pace. Think instant gratification. With that, goods are being produced at a faster pace, quality and brand procedures are not being adhered to, and the thing that takes the biggest hit, quality.
Stop buying brand new designer clothing. Think of it like buying a new car. As soon as you leave the showroom, you lose money, but not if you buy second hand. You get huge savings on RRP, which means when you want to sell that item later on, you get more of your money back. It's more sustainable. You're not fueling fast fashion, and you're saying no to the crazy price increases from brands.
Everyone's freaking out over the fact that Dior's bags that retail for more than $2,500 only cost $57 to make. Now, my thing is, why are people shocked? This isn't news. I'm pretty sure all luxury brands mark up their products and make huge profits. Did you really think it cost Dior, Louis Vuitton, Gucci $2,000 to produce a $3,000 bag? Aside from the fact that these luxury companies like Dior and Armani are making so much profit from the sale of one bag, it's also alleged that they hire subcontractors that employ Chinese foreign workers who live in Italy illegally and pay them as little as $2 an hour. It was also discovered that these workers often sleep in the workshops and are made to work insane hours without any breaks. It was also reported that in order to speed up the production process, a lot of their safety devices on their machines were removed. I decided to go on their website and check out their bags, and you actually can't find a bag less than $2,000, with their most expensive bag being $13K. When you put this into perspective, you can't tell me they're spending much more making this almost $13,000 bag compared to their $3,000 bags. So can you imagine the thousands of dollars in profit they're making on just one bag? Again, it's not news, but it's crazy to think about.
It can't just be me, surely. When I see groups of men wearing loud, expensive items and clothing like this, I don't think, wow, look how rich they are. I think, grow up. You know the type, skin fade, fake teeth, spiky trainers they can't afford, all looking like the Love Island Casa Amor, final boss. When you walk past them, plumes of Creed fill the air. There's another smell, and that's the smell of Klarna accounts working so hard they're about to explode. You see, clothes like this and the people that have been conned into buying them really do sum up 90% of the problems we face as a country. The facade, the act of looking successful for likes, comments and shares is now apparently worth more than putting the time and the effort in to become truly successful for real. Have I treated myself to one or two expensive items? Yes, I have. I bought myself a nice watch a few years ago, but guess what? That's gone up in value since I bought it. This won't go up in value. You'll be painting your nan's hallway with this in a few years' time. This one looks like you already have. So, cancel your trip to Turkey to do your teeth, pay off your credit cards and start investing your money wisely. And maybe one day I'll see you at the top table and not the one at O Beach that you put on your MasterCard.
You pay £8,850 for a Chanel classic flat bag.
No, I can't know. I find it very expensive because when I bought all my bags way back when, and I actually gave each of my daughters a Chanel bag when she was 18, at that point they were 500 euros.
It's actually absurd how much they've gone up in price.
It's unbelievable because as much as I like them, in that case I've had them repaired at the Chanel shop or in Harrods.
We approve of Harrods repair services.
Yeah, why not? It depends on the person who's gonna enjoy the gift.
Oh, so you're buying it for a special someone.
It will be.
This is not good. It needs to do something different or it's gonna be gone. Okay, Harvey Nichols, on the top floor, what is going on? There's just like a mediocre food hall that sells like chocolates and why would people go there? It used to be a destination up there. There was an amazing food hall like Harrods had. It is just not that anymore. Has anyone been to the bar there? Department stores need to be trending places. I do not want to see another department store disappear. So please, Harvey Nichols, do something.
Where the rich shop in London, Harrods, a luxury department store located in Knightsbridge. Inside you'll find Gucci strollers that'll cost you the equivalent of a used car to stuffed giraffes that go for over £2,000. Visitors come from all over the world and the area is known as the home of the super wealthy. Will you be visiting?
Running to Dior because Dior is currently rumored to have its price increase and it's going to be up to 15% off its retail prices. Crazy!
You don't need to buy that, you're just bored. If you're new here, hey, my name's Christina. I talk all about intentional living, intentional spending, and how to get the most out of what you've already got. So if you want more content like that in your feed, give me a follow. I saw this outfit on my feed today and the first thing I thought was, holy shit, I love it and I want to know where everything's from. But that's kind of the wrong mindset. Instead, I need to think about what do I have in my own wardrobe that I can use to create a similar vibe. I think I've got almost everything I need to recreate this vibe and I really want to see if it works. I do have a really similar pair of joggers, so I'm going to style these, but if I didn't have them, I would totally go for a pair of jeans or even a wide leg trouser. If all you do is get stuck on the pieces that you don't have, then that's when the pressure to shop comes in. You get really dissatisfied with what you already have, and I don't know, it's going to be a whole lot more wasted space and money in your closet. I have this stripy button down that's a little bit oversized. I think this is going to give a really similar vibe. She has everything quite relaxed and open, and I'm going to roll up the sleeves to show some more skin and just give this more of a chilled out look. I'm going to take my Apple Watch off. It looks like she's wearing some kitten heel flip-flops in the photo. I don't have anything like that, so I'm just going to style these. And she had like a really cute structured bag with hers. This bag you can wear in 4 different ways, so I'm gonna make it a little clutch so that it looks a bit more like hers in the photo. Really good cost per wear. Then she had some really cool aviator style sunglasses. I have these that I thrifted from Black Diamond Vintage here in Toronto. They are really, really cool. I really like this. It's something that I never would have put together on my own. I saved some money, I got my cost per wear. That's my favorite kind of outfit.
New Day. First things first, my favorite item. When I tell you, I've been waiting ages for these. These, my friend, are the Miu New Balance. Just take them in. I cannot wait to wear these.
This box is worth £160,000. This bag I've got here is very limited and it comes in only 4 different colors. It comes in day, night, midnight and snow. I've got here the Birkin 20 Fabog in night on Palladium hardware and it's in blue marine. This bag I've got here was made to represent Hermès's iconic flagship store in France, Paris.
Luxury designer handbags that are not worth it. Sure, you can argue that any and every designer bag isn't worth it, but these are especially not worth it. Starting off with the Chanel Classic Flap, with the most recent price increase, I believe this bag is like $12,000. A whole separate video about this and why the Classic Flap is no longer an investment, because the resale pricing is not catching up at the same rate as the price increases. Find a Classic Flap in very good condition, maybe even brand new, for like $8,000 to $9,000. Why are you paying $12,000 plus?
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living on the average American salary? I just watched a TikTok of a teacher who makes a teacher's salary. I don't know what state she's in, so I don't know how much she makes, but her one-bedroom apartment is $2,000. And when she spends $2,000 on that one-bedroom apartment, it doesn't even come with a washer and dryer. So she has to go pay an additional $2 every time she wants to use their washer and dryer.
Designer brands that fell off, you feel me? Look, everybody like to act like designer is drip, which it isn't, which we can get into another day. But you can't tell me if you wear any of these designers, you look goofy. Let's go. First, we got Balmain. Balmain literally went from a designer brand to the hood dude's favorite thing to wear. How you go from designer to Black Air Force Energy uniform? Any dude I see with these jeans puts fear in my heart. I guarantee you, anybody you see with these jeans has a felony. Versace. Now that Versace fell off, can we admit this shirt was ugly as hell?
What's happening in the world of luxury? LVMH just posted a 5% decline in revenues, and the headlines hint panic. But an Instagram post from Business of Fashion founder Imran Hamid hit home for me. LVMH has seen incredible growth since COVID, and for the first time there is a dip. But here's the thing, LVMH expected this. They have been cutting production for months. I know this firsthand. Friends in Eureka told me luxury orders have slowed significantly. If it weren't for brands like Polan and Strawberry, the town could be in trouble.
Palm Angels fell off. They started off so good with the cool tracksuit designs. Even the spray t-shirts in 2019, they was on top. But what Palm Angels were doing is, they were releasing too much of the same product. They were mass producing too much of the same thing, just to get extra money for the company. I think pretty much everyone in the UK has one of these t-shirts, which isn't very good for the brand because it completely kills the hype. And once everyone's finished hyping over something, it's on to the next trend.
$250 of white tip t-shirts. How much does it really cost? Let's check the GSM first. 220 GSM, 100% cotton, regular shape. Let's move to the print part. On the back, the classic off-white logo is made with DTF. The material vividly shows the vintage tape texture. On the front, it's printed in the same way, but printed twice, so the upper layer shows a three-dimensional effect. Compared to the clean stitch method, the accessories for this t-shirt are quite complex. The long woven neck label has a tight weave. There are multiple pages of care labels with silicone hand tags attached, which shows high quality. This undoubtedly adds to the overall cost. Let's tear it apart and learn how to construct a t-shirt like this. For a t-shirt like this, 220 GSM, high quality DTF. For us at JC Fashion, it would cost about $13. It would cost about $13.
In a business which is successful, I always say to my team, you should be thinking that the worst is coming, and you should never be satisfied.
It costs Dior less than 60 euros to make a handbag that it sells for nearly 3,000 euros. That's what Italian authorities found out when they raided factories making products for Dior and other fashion brands like Armani. The 60 euros does not include raw material and other expenses, but still, why does it cost so little? Dior outsources its manufacturing, in this case to companies running workshops in northern Italy. Italian police say the hygiene and health conditions they found in these workshops were not good. In some cases, the workers, who were mostly Chinese migrants, also lived at the factories, and they worked long days, including on weekends and holidays. Police also said safety devices had been removed from machines in order to increase productivity. The workers told police they're paid about €2 per hour. That's well below the minimum wage for the sector in Italy. Dior isn't facing any charges over these findings because it's not responsible for the workshops. But the court in Milan did criticize Dior for not overseeing its supply chain. People's love for luxury has made the owner of Dior one of the world's richest men, but consumers aren't paying a high price because Dior's handbags are handmade by skilled workers in artisanal Italian workshops. Instead, the company is able to maximize its profits, partly because of labor exploitation. We sent questions to Dior's parent company, the LVMH Group. We'd not heard back from them by the time we published this video.
What the fuck is going on in the UK? Childcare costs, horrendous. Car insurance, horrendous. Shopping, double horrendous. Like, everything costs fortune.
LVMH is going down by more than 5% in pre-market quotes this morning. That's due to lower than expected sales in Q3 posted last night by the French luxury giant. So the stock is below 600 euros this morning and mostly due to slower than expected sales in China.
Do not go vintage shopping in Tokyo. I don't know why no one is talking about it, but vintage shopping is so much cheaper in Osaka. From Chanel to Louis Vuitton and even Hermes, there are so many designer bargains, and some bags were even half the price compared to Tokyo. I ended up buying my Chanel bag of dreams, and you won't believe the price I bought it for. Find out now via the link in bio.
Let's do the biggest shopping haul ever!
Burberry burned $36.5 million clothes in just 1 year. Not because they couldn't sell them, because they didn't want you to have them for cheap. Luxury brands use this genius strategy to steal money all the time, and they don't want you to know it. The answer reveals luxury industry's biggest lie. These brands don't sell scarcity, they manufacture it. Here's the 3 disturbing tactics they use to do it. 1. The tax loophole. Most people don't know about this, but in the US, companies can claim back 99% of import tax by destroying goods if custom officials supervise the destruction. This means they make more money destroying and burning the clothes than selling at a discount. 2. The grey market prevention strategy. In most luxury markets, there's a grey market of resellers selling at a discount. Some of them licensed, some of them not licensed. To ensure that the resellers do not dodge their price control, they rather burn their goods so that they can maintain their premium prices. And 3. The exclusivity illusion. If everyone could afford the luxury goods, they wouldn't be luxury anymore. So these brands are smart. They limit the supply so that nobody else can buy it for cheap. Because if you buy it for cheap once, you don't want to buy it again. Like when you go to the US and you go to Coach and you realize how cheap the Coach is there, you don't want to buy it when you come back to Singapore anymore. Before you think about buying from one of these luxury brands again, think through this ethical consideration.